Hey guys, so we are on day 16 of the manhunt for Joshua Zimmerman, who escaped from DeSoto County 16 days ago. There are no updates on the manhunt, except they have labeled it unofficially to, let me back it up a little bit. Years ago, there was a case in Mississippi. It was led by the FBI and the U.S. Attorney's Office, and it was about corruption in the prison system in Mississippi. It led to a large amount of indictments relating to kickbacks, gang ties, mayors. The whole 9 yards. The operation was called Operation Mississippi Hustle. That is what they are nicknaming the escape of Joshua Zimmerman. I keep saying George. It's Joshua Zimmerman. They're calling it Operation Mississippi Hustle, which is interesting because Mississippi Hustle has a very unique history behind it. Maybe people that live in Mississippi know about Mississippi Hustle. It was one of the largest kickback schemes in American history, and it went to the prisons. The prisons were paying off big corporations. They were paying off lawmakers in Mississippi. They were paying off counties. They were paying off wardens. They were paying off senators. They were paying off judges. They were paying off prosecutors. They were paying off the police. The company was called Geo Group. It is a private, for-profit prison conglomerate that started in Pennsylvania and became the global leader of private prisons. Now, that corporation has been marked by scandals and just the craziest level of corruption on both sides of the aisle, Democrat and Republican. It's a very toxic company, and it led to a sweeping indictment back years ago, Mississippi Hustle. And that, again, is what the feds are nicknaming the escape of Joshua Zimmerman. So let's back it up. Again, guys, this is day 16. There have been no sightings of Zimmerman since he left the courthouse in DeSoto County. The surveillance went missing. The evidence went missing. There are 2 grand juries I'm hearing now, because I had to clarify. The local prosecutor convened a grand jury. That is not related to the federal grand jury. There are 2 grand juries about this escape. There is a state grand jury, which is it's kind of ridiculous because you don't need to investigate yourselves. And then there's the federal. Now, the federal one, that could be held anywhere. That could be in Georgia. That could be in Texas. That could be in New York. It doesn't have to be in Mississippi. They can have a grand jury out of state convened, which they do. They're sitting on the weekend, and they are hearing evidence. They are hearing testimony. They are hearing about Zimmerman, and they're hearing about potential accomplices. So the government is onto something on the federal level. They know, they have an idea, I'll say, of the power players behind the escape. And don't get it twisted. He did not escape by himself. It wasn't good luck. It wasn't an opportunity that he just saw and took and ran. No, this was a quickly orchestrated inside job because that county is so corrupt that they must have a reputation of selling out their courthouse like a bus stop. You don't have to stay if you come to our court. If you have the right money, you can go. And they let the wrong one out. There's no way that Zimmerman made a connection in that small little time frame to get somebody to give up their entire career, their livelihood, and then get that guy to get other people and women to back that. It doesn't happen overnight. That's an operation. That's a scheme. That's a scandal. That's something that Zimmerman, honestly, I guess thank you for the one thing that you did that's good. You exposed a huge situation in DeSoto County. You going on the run as a dangerous, vile, miscreant criminal alerted the right people. You don't just walk out of a courthouse nonchalantly. You almost snitched, in a way, you almost snitched on the people that helped you get out. You can't walk out so easily and make it look like a movie because it's just not that easy. It's America. It's the United States. You don't walk out unless you are found not guilty. It's an acquittal. Charges are dropped. You're not walking out even if you're charged with murder, you don't get bail. There is no leaving the facility until the trial's over. And then you have Zimmerman, who is wanted in Texas, got away with murder, rape, kidnapping in Connecticut, got charged in Houston for the one execution-style murder. There are more. Goes to Mississippi, gets the best place on earth to go, I guess. Gets picked up in Mississippi. He finds out, obviously, that he's being charged with murder. Probably happy because his name is on the head, so he understood. Now, who did he call? He did not plan to get arrested, okay? It's not like Zimmerman said, I'm going to go to Mississippi and get on the radar and get arrested. How did he orchestrate such an escape? It's impossible unless there are other big aspects like connections that go rather deep, cults, organizations, organized crime, stuff like that. That's how you orchestrate an escape like this. It's not as simple as he makes it out to be. You can't walk in and it's not like a store, And how do you start a conversation to break out of prison if you don't have a relation? It would have put it on a radar. If he told the wrong person, like, hey, man, can you help me get out? They would have made him an escape risk. He wasn't even a threat to the inmates, which is weird because when you sexually assault a prisoner, and he did when he was in state prison, you are not allowed to be in the same cell as another inmate. You are a threat, a clear threat. This guy had a cellmate. If you were his cellmate and you're out, you can probably sue the hell out of that region, because they're not allowed to put you in an individual who's going to potentially violate you because he's done it before. That's just because it's prison doesn't make it okay. They aligned his stay in Mississippi so nice that it was essentially, they rolled out the red carpet for the guy. That's the best way to put it. It's not that he's loaded, he's not rich. It's about who he knows, what he knows, the lengths he'll go to, and just how valuable is he to the organization or the cult that he belongs to, guys. That's the big picture here. This guy is very dangerous. He does not give a crap about the future because his future is not bright at all. It's either death or prison. That's it. There is no free life. His life ended when he was, thankfully, they caught him and he wrote the name on the head. That's when his life ended. In September of 23, when they identified him as the suspect in the homicide, in an execution. It was just disgusting. His life was over then. Right now, he's a dead man walking. He has nothing to lose, and he has a great network of criminals helping him. And those criminals are disguised as government officials. They're disguised as perhaps law enforcement officers. It's not a big web of them. It's a small little group, and they're going to get caught. That's the good thing. Mississippi, if you're local, don't think that this is going to become a culture. Zimmerman just ended that culture. He just brought so much awareness to a county that I never heard of. In most of America, nobody heard of Pocopson before Danilo Cavalcante escaped. So this guy brought a great level of awareness to a big problem in your region, and that is you have a courthouse that is a bus stop where killers come, killers go. You pay, not lawyers, you pay the courthouse off and you can leave. That's the atmosphere that they are creating in DeSoto County. That is a dangerous atmosphere that makes it unsafe for the community to want to call the police, because why would you report a crime when they're going to side with your perpetrator, literally side with, and release them? You're not going to call the police. That creates an atmosphere of fear. And in the U.S., we are not a third world country. We turn to the police for help, and we go to the courts, and yes, they might be flawed, the courts, but we still go through them. There just is no other option. This is the U.S. You escape from prison, you're gonna get caught. If you're on top of that, if you're charged with murder, even if you weren't in prison, they're gonna end up, I'm not saying they catch everybody, but when your face is out there, the FBI is looking for you and the marshals are, they're gonna get you. So if I hear anything, and it's hot out, so I'm gonna keep going, but I'm gonna let you guys know if I hear anything. I haven't heard anything new today other than Mississippi, or Operation Mississippi Hustle. Look into that a little bit. You guys can see just how crazy it was and the lengths that they go to in Mississippi to kind of break the law in their head legally, but it's not legal just because you have a badge or because you have a elected position. It's not. Again, if you see Zimmerman, call the police. Unless you live in DeSoto County, call the U.S. Marshals and then call the police. If you see him in any other region, call 911. And Dog the Bounty Hunter has set up a tip line for anybody that does not want to call the police. So if I hear anything, I'll let you guys know, and stay safe.